Hello, Amber Council, and welcome to another episode of Acquisitions Intoxicated.
Hey, everybody.
I am joined by our good friend, Dan from Two Beers Brewing. We have a special episode today. You brought us a lot of cool stuff.
I brought, once again, as always, too much beverage.
Well, you know, darn.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us. However you may have stumbled into this stream, head first, ass backwards, either way. But we here like to perpetuate the hero's journey of beer. We take an idea formed from the lore of usually Dungeons and Dragons and Acquisitions Incorporated and form a beer around that from start to finish.
All with you guys.
Tender love and care with your assistance.
Yep. Glorious. Killer.
So I guess, before we get into the testing, what we're going to brew today is what we crafted last week with our friends, the Adams from Game to Grow.
Oh, awesome.
So we did a beer for one of their characters in one of the campaigns they ran, and it was called the Best Beer.
Best Beer.
For a character they have called, hey, thanks, Sinoware. And it was about a character who, his name is Binlo, and he is the best at everything in his village.
I'm the best.
Literally the best at everything in his village. The best cook, the best brewer, the best librarian, the best barber.
So in actuality, or just...
He's the only person in that village.
There we go.
So he is naturally the best at everything.
I was homeschooled, so I graduated first in my class.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
Also, bottom of my class.
Best in your class.
Best in my class.
So what this recipe was an American brown ale.
Killer.
Because it represented, he wore leather top hats.
Killer.
He had...
Thanks, Spidey Mark.
Thanks for thanks, Spidey Mark.
Thanks,
Adrian Vinica, thank you.
Okay.
He also had a brown bear in color for his hair and
awesome.
A lot of other references. So we decided to go with an American brown ale that has pale malt, a lot of crystal in there, and some special roast to give it a little bit of that, nice toffee roasty feel to it.
That's killer. In a lot of browns, I feel like you get to play. They tend to be a little bit more restrained, but in the same way that you get to play with all the crazy hop profile, the hop bill on IPAs, I feel like browns, you can really, really get wide in terms of how much you're using in there to sort of shape and tune that flavor. It's really, really cool.
Exactly. And I'm excited to see how this comes out. So you want to do the honors of pouring this?
Yes, please.
These fine grains in?
I get to get my snoot in there. The feed bag.
Yeah. Get a whiff of those.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, especially with like a malt forward beer. Oh, it smells like cookies. Mm-hmm. That smells like oatmeal cookies. Oh, that's real good. Just right in?
Go right in.
Okay.
The Pico Brew is super easy.
Don't fuck it up.
Yep. God, that smells great.
That smells so good. All of it?
Oh, yeah. Don't miss a grain.
Nah, come on. That efficiency, I'm sure that efficiency is dialed right in. Can't mess with the numbers.
Actually, yeah, it's amazing how efficient that the Pico Brew can be.
Really?
Yeah. We usually nail it right on the head with the SRM and the IBUs and everything.
That's killer.
I can't say enough about it. So.
Yeah. Well, and it's a really fun system in that you actually get to all of the, you don't have to play with extracts or sort of hop pods or whatever. Right. You're actually using the same ingredients. It just translates straight over.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, you can do like the cryo hops. You can do the injections.
For sure.
The injectable hops or whatever it is, the liquid hops.
Yeah, the isolates and stuff like that.
You can still do it, which is really neat. So you're never really limited by your product.
Yeah.
So,
which I mean, once you get a scalable wise in terms of like production brews, you're still also playing with that exact same idea.
Exactly.
So it still translates. It's a 1-to-1.
Right.
So
right.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
So we used Fuggles as the hop.
Nice.
So we're
really
gonna put
clean.
Clean, earthy. Great aroma. We're gonna put about an ounce into that first chamber.
Cool.
Right there.
Killer. Just this guy right here.
Yep.
Ba-ba. Is this just pre-weighed on this?
That was 1 ounce packet, so it should be fine.
Close enough to count.
Yeah, right?
Get it all. Bangarang.
Perfect.
There we go.
All right.
And that's it.
Well, no, it's not. Technically, it's not it.
Oh, no.
The moment of truth.
Oh, no.
Dan.
So now I'm on the spot.
Yep. You have.
Oh, no.
You have some responsibilities here.
I feel like so many times I've just
wait,
giggled
that's
at this
upside down.
moment, and now
Yeah,
Nothing but
ridge
trepidation.
right there clips right into the.
Yeah.
I've cleaned that many
you, Tim.
times.
Thank you, Tom.
No problem.
there we go. And that'll still move around? All right.
Oh yeah, you're good to go.
Oh,
Just
no.
there's a lot of pressure here.
I know.
I mean, Jerry has successfully done it many times.
And now I
the
understand-
Adams couldn't on their guest spot last week.
Oh, no.
They missed the
Not
first
to
time.
put any pressure.
Oh, none at all, right? None at all. Okay, so
Right.
bin
So
side in or hop side in?
Hop side in.
Hop side in.
Do you have any strategies going into this?
I think I'm going for the smooth swoop. I'm going to go in, try to just nice and easy guide it in. It knows where it wants to be. We're the Happy Gilmore strategy.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Go
Go to your home.
Yeah, we're going to go to your home. Granted, it didn't really work out for Happy Gilmore, so.
Well, I mean, okay. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
Push.
Eh?
And one. Nicely
In
done.
one. Glorious.
The man is a professional, people.
And then snap on the paneling.
Yep.
Yep.
You gotta turn it off.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no. Just power it up.
It should be on.
There we go.
Yep,
and-
and you can put it under, it's going to be the same brewing process. I didn't add it in as,
A new recipe?
nope.
Okay.
Go in and look for the recipes section and do mull and void. It's the same brewing process.
Null and void.
Yep.
Okay, this thing is too cool.
Right?
And then just start?
Yep.
And it'll let you skip like a certain front part of it, I think it says.
Uh-huh.
Yep, skip it.
Skip it.
Skip it real good.
Run tests?
Skip.
Skip.
Start now.
There you go.
Essay, you know what? It's okay, Essay. He got it in. The button pushing is not, as big of a deal, I don't think. We can always go back to that. That's
It is. I was gonna say. I feel like the new version is cheating a little bit. That felt a little bit too. I got the.
like you didn't. Yeah, you
I got
came
the training wheels.
It's okay.
I'll take it.
Listen, you did it.
I'll take the
and, some people can't. Some people have not been able to do that.
Just
So, we're all proud of you, and
it means a lot.
you can now
done.
come back again.
Yes. Yes. Not banned. Little did I know that was the test.
That was it.
Shit. Well, I guess I survived one more round in the Thunderdome.
Exactly. So, let's talk about. I don't think Jeff was here today. I could be wrong. We might see him zoom in, but I don't know if Jeff's here.
That's a bummer because a bunch of this stuff is gonna sort of crosses over into that wine world.
So, what's really great? We can just rub it in.
You know what? It's better. It's better
Really
that
rub
way.
it in.
That's what he gets for missing.
But Tom has volunteered to join us for the tastings.
Volunteered as tribute.
Yes.
I do very much enjoy cider, so I'm really looking forward to some of these.
We have a bunch of cider. So on the beer side, I brought 2 beers and then I brought 2
Really?
ciders.
You don't say.
And then I brought 2 of our
2
seasonal
beers
stuff.
enter, 1 beer leaves.
No
Maybe
beers leave.
nobody- yeah.
Yeah, that's not how it works. And then I brought some specialty stuff on the side. So for the beer side, we just dropped a brand new fresh hop hazy IPA.
Super cool.
That we did with fresh Columbus hops and then Amarillo, Simcoe, and Chinook. That's called Focus.
That's fantastic. This already sounds delightful.
It's dumb. It's really, really good. So brought that as well as our Tipsy Toboggan, which is our winter warmer.
Oh,
sort
rad.
of
Very cool.
floats in the dark beer, kind of hoppier, has a little bit more hop profile to it. We balanced it out a little bit. We retooled the recipe so it's not a full-on like CDA. It fits a bit more in that winter warmer world.
Very fun.
And then
so how does that compare to other kind of traditional winter ales?
So we tend to go for the like dark chocolate, toffee, and then just a little bit of that like sprucey or piney hop character to it. It is like drinking black coffee on the porch of a log cabin. Like that's what this
Best
beer is.
description ever.
It is meant to be a liquid hug for colder months. So you can take your time with it. It still stays pretty light. It clocks in about 6%, but even though it has a lot of malt character to it, it's not super sticky. On the specialty grains, we don't have a lot of unfermentable sugars that we're pushing through there.
Very cool.
And so it'll stay nice and bright, but you'll still get all that really good roasty character. Sort of dark fruit, like prune, raisin in there.
So you're saying it's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's real good.
Yeah.
It's real good. And then on the big side, depending on how crazy we want to get, I also brought our Russian Imperial Stout release from last year. That's been sitting in the cellar, our fall line. So that's depending on how big of a bad choice we want to make.
Fantastic.
And then on the cider side, I brought I brought our seasonal right now, which is our spiced peach, which is done with fresh peaches and cardamom in it. Really, really aromatic.
Yeah.
Stays still nice and bright, so you get some of that spicy flavor, but the stone fruit sort of brightens it up, keeps it
absolutely.
keeps it wholesome. And then there is a touring cider festival called Cider Summit.
Okay.
That is in Chicago, St. Louis, San Francisco, and Seattle.
Okay.
That's probably wrong. There's one in
Close
Portland.
enough.
Close enough to count. It's in 4 cities. But we got to make the cider for it this year, and we did this really fun hybrid.
Oh, like the official cider for the whole thing?
Yeah, for the festival. We were sort of we got to play with that.
Very cool.
And we did sort of a hybrid between, we've chatted about this a little bit on previous times that I've been here, where there's Old World cider, which is done with apple varietals grown specifically for cider making. They tend to have smaller yields, higher acid, higher tannin. And then modern cider, which is cider that you're making with apples you'd buy to eat. Fuji, Gala, Golden Delicious.
Yeah.
Granny Smith is a great one. That super high acid, nice and tart.
Yep, absolutely.
So we did a hybrid of that where we fermented a varietal called Newtown Pippin. And then we did the blend, our proprietary blend that we use for our other ciders.
Okay.
Co-fermented them together, but then we back-sweetened with a little bit of brown sugar.
What?
So
Super cool.
There is
Okay.
like this caramel, like this almost caramel apple character to it.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's an off-dry cider, so you're getting those flavors, but it's not sticky sweet. It's really bright. It's almost like a broiled apple. So that's fun.
So will that be, outside of the festival, will that be available at Two Beers?
Yes, so that's available. We have that out in grocery stores. It's down at the tap room at the Woods, so you can get that. So it will be around for a little bit. It's a one and off, so once it's out, it's out.
Yeah.
But we're still pretty well stocked on it for a little while.
God, that sounds amazing.
And then, similar to the Russian Imperial Stout,
Yeah.
I brought 4 ciders that we did as a single varietal series. Like I was saying, for most of our other ciders, it's a blend of a few different apples. And we were able to work with some small farms and get these very special cider varietal apples that we got to play around with. And they're all wildly different, not just in terms of the flavor of the apple, but in terms of what we did, sort of our production method to bring it out. So what do we have first? So this first one, the Crimson Gold, Crimson Gold is a crabapple varietal.
What? That's got to be, the taste of a crabapple has got to be wildly interesting when it comes into a cider.
Yeah.
It's so tart.
Yeah, so you have all this great acid, but they're really, really floral. They have such expressive aroma to them. And then in addition, playing alongside that high acidity, and the other fun thing about crabs is they're usually very tannic.
Yeah.
So you get a nice dryness. You get that burst of acid, but then it doesn't just sort of sit and make your mouth water for a while.
Yeah.
It cleans it up real fast. So we took that, and then we fermented with mixed culture bacteria.
Okay.
So Enococcus,
Yeah.
Pediococcus, Lactobacillus. So the same bacterium you use to make sour beer,
Right.
we fermented this cider with this high acid crab. So it's sort of going to drink almost like a sour beer, but with all of this crazy fruit character on the backside. Really, really fun. The next one is that we have is is it the Crimson Gold? Or that was the Crimson Gold. The next one is the Macintosh. So Macintosh is a really popular apple in the Midwest. It's primarily a baking apple, a culinary apple. So it smells like applesauce, but you get these wonderful winey characteristics out of it.
Right.
And then after that, we have the wine sap, which, speaking of winey, drinks almost like a straight up white wine. It is a apple varietal that typically you don't harvest to either eat or make cider with. They just plant these trees in the orchards because they work really well as pollinator varietals. The bees really like the blossoms in winter banana apple trees.
Okay.
And so there's an orchard in the Natchez Valley where we get all of our wine sap apples, which is one that we use in a lot of our heirloom blends.
Yeah.
And we contract with this orchard to make sure that they can keep growing wine saps. We said, we'll buy everything. And we noticed that there were these trees that they weren't harvesting.
Okay.
We said, what's that? He said, they're wine sap, you don't harvest them.
Yeah, we don't do anything with them.
And we said, no, we'll pay you for those as well. So
they were just elated, right?
Yeah. We
could
said,
not be happier.
And he was like, well, you just pay the laborers, pay the work. And we're like, no, we want to pay you for these. So we made a single varietal cider just with it. And so it's so interesting. It's really bright. It's really delicate. You get this sort of lemon rind character on it.
Really? That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So, just for my clarification, when so if you're doing these single varietals,
Yep.
do you press the apples in house, or do they press it at the orchard? How does that actually happen?
So it depends on where we're getting the apples from.
Yeah.
It depends on what volume of fruit, because we do have what are called bladder presses.
Okay.
Where essentially there's a conveyor that goes up, that we conveyor the apples up into. It goes into a grinder, which just aerosolizes them down into what looks like a cylindrical colander.
Okay.
That has a pan at the bottom. And then in the middle of that, there is a super, super heavyweight balloon. So we fill it up with the pomace, the ground up apples, and then we inflate that balloon in the middle with water so it works like a pneumatic press. And so it presses all the juice out through the holes in the side of the colander, collects in the pan, and then we push it over into these big square tanks. So depending on whether we're getting apples directly from an orchard that doesn't have the ability to press it, sometimes we will work with other orchards like Tieton or Finn River that actually press their own stuff. And if we're buying fruit from them, we can have them press it for us.
Very cool.
So there is some stuff, like one that we press every year in-house just because of how it comes about, where the release for this is coming up, is a cider called City Fruit. And it is harvested. It's all apples that are harvested by a nonprofit of the same name, City Fruit, that goes around and tends all of the fruiting trees in Seattle.
Shut up. Wait, what?
Like at all the parks, in people's backyards, you can register your trees with City Fruit. And they will go and they do pesticide-free pest control. So they'll, like, if you ever are going through Seattle and you see in parks the trees that have the big nets over them, that's
absolutely.
them. That's City Fruit. And the mesh on those nets keeps the bugs from getting in to get to the fruit, but lets sunlight through. So they harvest all of that fruit. They donate what they can to food banks. But there's so much food being grown in Seattle, just in like parks, that they fill up all the food banks. So we take everything that's left over, or stuff that has been damaged or looks lumpy, wouldn't last in cold storage for a while, and we press it into a cider. And so, there's like 30 different apple varietals that are in this cider. So that we always have to press in-house ourselves, because we're not doing a single pressing where we just send all the Gravensteins to Tieton, get them pressed, we will get the juice shipped to us.
So when you do that, so you're getting all these varietals in from around the city. How do you know are you literally saying, okay, we have you're literally counting out this varietal, that varietal, that varietal, or it's just like a mishmash?
It's a mishmash.
And then you just kind of say, okay, let's toss a coin and see what like yeast we should use and what other things we should put in, or
So we're
do we
using-
just kind of know what's kind of in the area? So this is probably what's in here.
So we work with most of our yeast. We're using a White Labs product called
Okay.
D47,
Cool.
which is a Rhone varietal white wine yeast. So Chablis, Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, all of those. We have found in terms of our process, in the way that we do our fermentation, sort of track how the yeast is. We know how it likes to live. We know how it likes to track through a fermentation. So it's very predictable for us.
Yeah.
So and it also informs a lot of the flavor of our base ciders. You get a little bit of like Meyer lemon. You get like pie cherry and apricot, sort of these little stone fruit notes, and that's all stuff that we like. So we stick with that, and there's enough complexity that's going in with the fruit, sort of like with a smash beer, where like you keep your yeast the same. You're using 2-row or a single base malt, and then you play with the hop to sort of, okay, what's the variant there? By keeping our process totally the same up until what apples are we using, and every year, depending on what they harvest and what we get, it's different.
Yeah.
So we get that variance every year. It's really, really cool.
That's a brilliant idea. I love the thought of that.
Well, and what's great for us is then we're able to donate proceeds from that liquid back to City Fruit to make sure that they can keep doing it. So we're able to help support a nonprofit here in Seattle, and also ensure that we get to keep making the cider. Like selfishly, by making sure that they exist, we get access to all of this amazing fruit. So that's pretty cool to me.
Yeah,
so,
that's absolutely fantastic.
Shoot, I should have brought some of it.
Next time.
We have some from last year, but we're going to be doing. Stay posted, and we'll announce when this year's is going to come out.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So where do you start?
Man, I would say let's start with the beers.
Okay.
Just because the cider will actually, the beers are cold right now, so they'll play pretty fun. Let's get it.
All right, we'll start off with, I guess, the Focus.
Yum.
The Hazy Fresh Hop IPA.
Label.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh yeah, the labels really messes with cameras because you think it's not in focus.
Are you saying it's in focus? Or not?
Maybe. I don't know. No, it was a fun label to make.
Down?
Thank
And
you,
you
sir.
do not want one.
No, I'm
correct,
good. My stomach is
no
doing
worries.
wires today, so.
So you and I have to.
Yeah, you'll have to suffer the. So do you want to cut this beer?
Sure.
Have you seen this yet? I don't know if Adam.
Cud?
Yeah, I don't know if Adam from Game to Grow showed you his cutting method. So he developed this little book. He brought it in last week, and it's a rating system for how you enjoy a beer and how you can get people to talk about a beer at your bar.
Oh my gosh. Yes, please.
So what you do is you do craftsmanship, uniqueness, and drinkability, and you rate it on a scale for each one. So your craftsmanship, you'll give it a score of 1 to 4.
Yep.
4 being this beer lacks intention or follow through. I think you're going to probably do the highest of all. This beer missed the mark. This beer does what it's intended. This beer transcends the category.
Okay.
The next category is uniqueness. This beer is not unique. This beer stands out. I will not forget this beer.
All right.
Now the uniqueness, which was really neat, which we learned about, isn't just how unique you think the beer is, but the experience you're having with it. Like
Expectation versus experience.
kind of like, so when Adam was here, all his uniqueness were 2. Not because of the beers that we tried were unique, but because his experience, he's like, I'm trying these on Ack-In. So I'm never going to forget these beers.
Set and setting. That is really, really cool.
So depending on the brewery, why you're at that brewery, why you're having this can change that score.
I love the idea of working that into your perception, sort of the hedonistic appreciation of a beer, of like, in that moment, it was perfect. Like, I have had those moments where, like, you've been out in the sun all day and, like, an ice cold Rainier is the best beer in the world.
Exactly.
So I love that. I love the idea that you build into your assessment, and that this assessment is very, very personal.
Yeah. And he has it in here that you can literally write down all of your results.
That's so cool.
That's all it is.
That's so cool.
And the last one is drinkability.
Yep.
I drank some and I don't need any more.
Yep.
I drank it and I'm content.
Yep.
I drank it and I would have it again, or I would have this beer again and again.
Again and again and again. That's
So
really cool.
the way you do it is you've taken your first sips, then you take a second sip, analyze it, Enjoy. And when you're ready, you're going to hold your fist up in the air, like a rock, paper, scissors, with your number of intent for your craftsmanship of 1 through 4. 1 being this lacks intention or follow through. 4, this beer transcends the category.
Oh man, now you're putting me on the spot. My boys made this one.
I know, right? What are you gonna do? So, whenever you're ready, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, go. I gotta go with my boys. It is the thing about crazy fresh hops.
All right,
Or with
don't talk about it now.
Okay.
So just remember what it was. 4, uniqueness.
Okay.
This beer is not unique. This beer stands out. I will not forget this beer.
All right. 1, 2, 3. I think. Well, okay. Now you're not letting us talk about
Nope.
it.
No.
Okay.
And
At the end.
drinkability. 1, I drank some and I don't need any more. 4, I would have this beer again and again,
Okay.
and all the way through.
1, 2, 3, go.
All right, cool. So add up your scores.
Okay.
You had I think you had a 4, a
1.
2, and a 4? Or would you get the last one?
Oh, I meant to go 1 with that one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So 4, 1, 5, and what'd you get for that?
3 for the last
3?
So
There
4,
you
1,
go.
3.
7.
7.
Cool.
And I had a 3, a 1, and a 2, I believe.
So 6.
6.
Kill.
All right, so now you get to talk about it.
Yeah.
Why, for your first one, why was the craftsmanship where you put it? So,
Tommy, you go first. I get to talk
The thing
about this
is,
all the time.
I don't drink a whole lot of beer.
Uh-huh.
I might even like drink cider and I like sours, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. I like this one because it's not as yeasty as a lot of other beers, which I'm not a huge fan of. I kind of like the little bit of sour. It might be a little too tart for me, but also this is just me. A lot of people very much like the hop flavor and stuff like that. But it is very like I've had some where I drink it and I'm like I have one sip I'm like nope done. But this I've been drinking like no this is good.
It's I always say like IPAs are like spicy food. Like sometimes people need to sort of bump up the raise the stakes. Everything has to be turned up to 11 to make it enjoyable for them. And I think what I like about this is heresy to say, but I'm going to say it. IPAs are not actually like my favorite style. They're good, they're really interesting, but it's a lot. And so drinking pint after pint after pint of them is sort of just like taking hot sauce right down the gullet. So what I enjoy about this one is the brewers have been playing around a lot with water chemistry.
very cool. That makes a difference.
Well, and it's remarkable to me, not just in terms of the flavor that's in the beer, but how your sort of the organ of your body interacts with it as you taste it, how it feels as it moves across the tongue, how it lingers on the palate afterwards. And what's fun about this is there's a lot of flavor going on, and you get that sharpness of the hops, but I like that it finishes soft, that it's not a super hard sort of spiky bitterness, but it's sort of, it's almost a black tea style bitterness where it will sort of hang out across the palate. But it is, I think this also lands flavor-wise right where I like in terms of like boatloads of tropical fruit, like pineapple and guava and lemon rind. Like I'm all about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, that's great. So uniqueness, this beer stands out. I will not forget this beer. Which one did you guys?
I'd say it stands out just because it is a fresh hop, but the market is honestly saturated with hazy IPAs right now. So there's,
Don't worry, you'll be fired later. It's cool.
Sorry. Sorry.
But yeah, it's because I don't have like experience and judging for these type of beers. I can't really say this one is unique compared to the other ones. But it's definitely not a beer that I would say like no, I'm done drinking it. But yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
very cool. And drinkability. This is kind of what we just ran into. Was I drank some and I'm content. I drank it and I would have it again, or I would drink this beer again and again.
Yeah, I would definitely say I drink it again. This is, like I said, this is the style. If I'm drinking an IPA, this is the style IPA that makes me happy.
Yeah.
But I will honestly probably go for like a nice dark beer or a super, super clean, like light Pilsner or maybe a Kellis or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's real good.
Cool. And you said you drink it? And
I would drink it and I'm content. I probably wouldn't order it again, but I wouldn't be like...
Well, it's not your style.
I'm not.
Right?
I'm not sad that I ordered this, but I probably wouldn't order it again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. And I am such a firm believer in the best beer is the one you enjoy most right now.
Yeah.
Or the best beverage, we'll say that.
Yeah.
If you don't like beer, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's funny. I feel like a lot of people, and you're seeing this trend. Like I said, I really enjoy lighter beers, and you're seeing this trend in the brewing industry where, like we did with our Pilsner in a can, a lot of breweries are lobbying for a nice light drinkable beer where what they want to taste when they are tasting beer, they want those big, super complex, really interesting, dissectable beverages. But when you're drinking beer, you want a beverage. You want something quaffable.
Yeah.
You want something really accessible. And so I like that it gets to be on both of those levels, that you can have beers that are really, like, this beer is really fun to taste. But personally, and there are people who can drink this, to borrow a phrase from someone here, from hell to breakfast. Like, there are people who can do that, but like, that would just be a lot. I'd get really full. It sort of blows out your palate after a while.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what's next?
Let's do some Tipsy Toboggan.
All right.
God, that is really good. That's really good.
And yeah.
And this is the winter ale. Right?
This is our winter warmer. And
No, we're fine.
just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just talking back to you, not yelling.
Okay.
So like I said, we did a little bit of a tweak. This is the third year that we've done Tipsy Toboggan.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. And we did a little bit of a retooling on the recipe this year, just for, I don't know, that is always sort of a balance of like, get a beer, get it out there, make it consistent, make it predictable. But one thing that we really are always striving to do, and part of why we do these like new beers every single month, is like, we want to get better.
Right.
You never.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta get in and practice your scales. You gotta go and shoot free throws for hours. And like,
explore the studio, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so this one was we reshaped the hop profile a little bit, just to give it, to let the really, really fun malt structure. Like we were talking about how like on malty beers you get to play with a bunch of different specialty grains. We wanted to sort of showcase that a little bit more in this and show the work that we did on the malt bill, instead of just letting the hop bill punch through on everything.
Cool.
So
Very nice smell to it. It's got a very good, I like.
isn't that fun?
What did you describe it as? Eating chocolate on the back porch of a log cabin?
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Oh yeah.
My wife would love this.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep, that's good.
She likes
She likes dark.
dark beers.
And what's so interesting is trying this. The last time I tried this, we have this on Nitro in our tap
geez,
room,
that's
which
fantastic.
but the last time I tried it, I had been having a pale ale beforehand, and then I tried this and I was like, wow. I know we sort of rolled back on the hops, but this still tastes pretty hoppy. Now trying this after an IPA, this is why I like this so much, is context, like the trajectory after which you try different things.
Right.
This has such, like the malt profile is just coming out, those sort of dark fruit, like that prune and date and raisin alongside the chocolate. Like that's all I'm getting right now.
Very cool. So definitely a step in the right direction for your palate.
For my palate, it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's not as hop forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very drinkable.
Yeah. And when this is the fun thing about these is this style of beer is meant to be a beer that you can actually let warm up a little bit. Like you don't necessarily want to drink it.
It can be that real ale
Exactly.
temperature, right?
That
Cellar temperature or whatever.
Exactly. That if it comes out really, really cold out of a tap, you're gonna get that nice sharpness. You'll get a little bit more of that like dark chocolate bitterness and the pininess. But as it warms up, like all those fruit esters will sort of breathe and expand after that. So you get a lot more of that character on the other side. So it's a beer that you can sit and sip for a while. You don't have to crush a can down.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
who am I to judge? All right, are we doing this again, or do we?
No, it takes a while to do each one,
Yeah.
so we'll be here all day. But I just wanted to run you through the first one.
No, that is
pretty neat.
That is super fun, and I think that's also this is a really cool system in terms of like on our side for innovation.
Yeah.
Saying like is what we're doing good, but is it unique?
Right.
Are we trying to do something in an existing trend, or are we trying to break new ground? And so if it has
makes a
some
lot of
hard
sense,
edges, okay, great. Maybe we don't have to sand those off. Maybe we can let it be a little idiosyncratic because it's new. So
Very cool way to look at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cheers. All right.
Grab
Yeah,
those.
go ahead. Tell us over some of those, and I'll get some of these other ones.
We'll do one more.
Yeah,
Would you like
let's
the
do. I
spice?
would say let's try the. Let's do. You were excited about the spice peach. Let's
Yeah.
do, or do we want to do one of the single varietals?
No, go for it.
Whichever
Well,
you.
Honestly,
I want to see what Ghostly's palate is with some of this.
because you said you were excited about cider, so it's dealer's choice.
All right,
now.
let's try the spiced peach.
Let's do it.
With you said it had it's peach with cardamom.
Yeah, cardamom. It is, which is, it's sort of a fun. You get a little bit of like orange rind. It has like a touch of citrusy character to it, but it also has like a really nice broad spice character. It's not really sharp like ginger or like nutmeg.
Fascinating. Okay.
Also, you can see that all of that
Yeah.
color comes from the peach. And well, you get
Right.
a tiny bit out of the cardamom, but
not
almost
much.
all of
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So yeah, totally different world here.
Oh, that's very good.
We found a winner, folks.
Yeah.
Heyo.
No, that's very, very good. Very nice and juicy. It's not overly like spiced. Like it's not like all you can taste is the cardamom. You can definitely taste the peach and the juiciness of it. It's very, very good.
This is what I like about this one is it stands totally fine on its own. This is also a really, as we get into colder months, this is a really fun beverage to incorporate into
right.
punches and.
This is perfect Thanksgiving
yeah.
Day drink, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's great. This is grown up Martinelli's.
Yeah, it is. That's really, really good.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's very, very tasty.
Yeah. And it still stays very, very light. That
Yeah.
if you sip it, it'll sort of blossom across your tongue. You'll get all that complexity. But if you take a big gulp, it's not going to overwhelm your palate. It's not going to blow everything out. That's a lot
cool.
of like pumpkin spice or winter spice. A lot of them will have clove in them.
Yeah.
And clove oil is actually an oral analgesic. It will numb your
fascinating.
palate. And so if you're drinking something that has clove in it,
Yeah.
it will slow. You won't be able to taste anything but clove.
No kidding.
So, yeah. If you have a
Did not know
toothache,
that.
clove oil is great.
You're done. Yeah.
But it will. Yeah, that's one of the things about when you're putting together sort of like winter spices.
Yeah.
You have to be you can include clove, but you have to be very judicious with it.
Right,
Because a
right.
little bit goes a long way, and it is cumulative in a way that this is sort of flat. It's sort of a direct relationship. As much as you take in, it will still taste like that amount of cardamom. The more you take in with clove, the more it will sort of overwhelm all those other flavors. So,
Very cool.
That's a very, very, very good cider.
Frickenbauer wants the
so for
varietals.
the apple varietals that are in our main catalog ciders, what we call our core brands.
Yeah.
We are.
Does anybody want to put him into the word fort? Word jail?
For
anybody?
most of these ones, we do.
Boom! Word fort.
Word jail. Thank you, Angus. Thank you, Ethan. I deserve it. But for most of our core brands, we are using a blend that has. These are all modern ciders, so they're dessert fruits. So you're going to see Granny Smith.
Yeah.
You are going to see like Fuji and Gala in there. I think we use 12 or so varietals.
Wow, okay.
In our main sort of proprietary blend. Special sauce, you guys don't like. get it going. But it is what you're going to get out of modern ciders, and part of why we like it is that it's sort of, you don't have this crazy acid profile and this crazy tannin profile, so it's sort of going to be there and gone on your palate.
Okay.
It allows for, once again, a nice, refreshing, light beverage, but it also means that when you are incorporating other ingredients into it, you get to showcase those in really, really fun ways. So it has its own sort of delicate platform, but it's durable enough that when you're fermenting with peach and cardamom, when we are capitalizing with brown sugar, you are able to let those different pieces have a firm foundation to stand on.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
Your
Yeah.
recommendation, your
Oh yeah, that's very, very good. The
Thoughts?
spiced peach, it's got a very nice, juicy flavor. It's not overly, sometimes you get ciders that are super, super sweet, which I don't mind, but sometimes you want something that's not so sugary. This is very smooth, very drinkable. It's a very, very good cider.
And that's one thing that we try to stick with. So all juice is rated, and even the ripeness of fruit is rated on the Brix scale. So 1 Brix is 1 gram of sugar for 100 grams of water in solution. Most, like apple juice is like 13 or 14 Brix. And so when you ferment that down, you can get about 6 to 7% alcohol by volume. Most ciders that were on the market for a while, like Strongbow and Angry Orchard when they first came out, those were about 6.5 to 8 Brix.
Okay, that makes sense.
So about half as sweet as apple juice.
Yeah.
We try not to go past 2.5 Brix. So this is
so
1.8.
that's wildly different. Yeah.
Yeah, our dry is bone dry. It's 0 Brix. So we do a couple varietals where there is no sugar in there.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay.
When you're dealing with fruit flavors, sugar is actually really useful because there are some flavors that will just sort of punch and go away.
Okay.
But if you introduce a little bit of sugar, it will stretch that out across the palate. It sort of slows it down a little bit so you can get a little bit more dimension. So you generally want a tiny bit of sweetness in there, in the same way that with beer, your finishing gravity is still above 1.
Right.
You're still leaving sugar in there to compete with the alcohol and the bitterness.
Yep.
So, yeah.
There it is. That's amazing. Yeah. I love.
It also doesn't taste like, this is what, a 6.5. It does not taste like it. This tastes like you can't taste the alcohol at all. No, it's
Cox Orange. I have not heard of that varietal.
Yeah. Wow.
That's really, really fun. We'll have to.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. But yeah,
Beckenbauer, you may have just created a new recipe.
Well, like these other bottles that I brought, I don't know if we're going to get into them today, but we love playing with single varietals. We love being able to actually ferment them out and see what interesting flavors we're able to come out, because it is remarkable how different.
One little change makes.
Yeah,
well, I guess it's not a little change, but.
Yeah, still, I mean, it's the same fruit.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same fruit varietal, and it's still bonkers to see, not just, like, all other things being equal, not just the difference in the fruit itself, but how that ferments, how it behaves in fermentation, and what phenols and esters get produced along the way. It's really, really fun to see how different varietals behave in fermentation.
Exactly.
Because I remember when we had the live show, when you had basically the same beer, only used a different yeast, was it?
Yeah.
And they tasted completely different. It's always very interesting how it's like it was exactly the same grains, everything else, but the yeast was different and it tasted completely different.
Yeah, one variant in it's a different product.
Mind trip, yeah.
Cool.
So, let's get to brewing a beer.
Yeah, I will get back to the...
Thank you for joining us.
No problem. Thank you very much.
And
Thanks, Ghostly.
No problem.
Cheers, Chip.
So, what is a character that you have played in D&D? We're going to honor you with all the stuff you've done for us.
Oh my gosh.
What is a character you've played in D&D or an NPC that is most memorable to you that you want to put in the lexicon
Oh my gosh.
of Akin?
Now I'm on the spot.
Yep, sorry, done.
Jeez. So I guess I have... I mean, you are an avid D&D player, so I want to know about a character here that... Full confession, I got into D&D through Acquisitions Incorporated.
That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear.
My wife, Katie. My phone now recognizes that word.
Nice.
But my wife got us tickets to PAX West, and we saw Pat Rothfuss's name on the schedule, and we were like, we're going to that, and we showed up at Benaroya.
Yeah.
And there was a line around
the corner,
around the block.
I've been
like,
there
what?
since 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
And we went and we watched. It was when they were doing the Tomb of Annihilation.
Oh, fun.
Game.
Okay, yeah.
And it absolutely blew my mind. And I just went home and freebased the entire Ack Inc. catalog right to the brain.
A plus.
Yeah, it was just ruined. So, man, I will. I'm gonna pick the first character I had in an actual campaign.
Excellent.
My buddy James ran Curse of Strahd for us, and he was an Earth Genasi
Okay.
named Mantle, and
Already amazing.
he was a wild magic sorcerer.
Okay.
So whole idea, sort of like black obsidian, like rocky skin, but then like, you know the plumes of lava where it will sort of look like foam frozen in place, but it's rock? One whole side of his face was all blown out like that from him not fully understanding his magic and functionally blowing off side of his face.
That is
So
fantastic.
So that was my first campaign character.
Very cool.
I'm blushing right now talking about this. I feel like I'm talking about personal information.
Oh, well, the characters are personal to everyone. You know. So, let's bring up the poll system.
Whoops.
So, what type of beers would represent, so this Earth Genasi, Mantle, what styles of beers, if we could think of maybe three different styles of beers to represent Mantle, what do you think they would be?
First off, I mean, because he is like, it's all dark rock, like a Schwarzbier or something like that.
Oh, absolutely. Okay.
Something that is super, super, super dark, but most of this wild magic was, I took in the fire realm of sort of that lava rock idea.
Absolutely.
And so something that is both dark in color, but sort of bright in flavor, I feel could be pretty fun.
Yep. So Schwarzbier.
So hold on, we are beer style. We'll do a Schwarzbier.
Yep.
Schwarzbier.
Yep.
Okay.
Next. What else do you think?
We could do a steam beer.
Ooh.
That idea of like hydrothermal.
Yeah, and we've only done one other steam beer, and that was for Ryan's character.
Oh, cool.
So.
Cool. We'll do a steam beer. That idea of sort of like hydrothermal vents. Anything else in the chat? You guys got some ideas? We could do. I mean, obviously, like stout, something in the
easily doable.
dark and heavy, like a chili stout, playing with that sort of dark
Fire
and spicy. Chili porter.
Sure, chili porter sounds fantastic.
Yeah, that's sweet and chili porter. Peat. That like a Rauch beer. That could be really, really fun. The idea of like constantly burning.
Yep.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, just add some Lagavulin to the brew. Absolutely. Did you know?
Okay.
Nick Offerman is getting his own scotch from Lagavulin. How cool is that?
God, that's so rad.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Habanero porter.
Ooh.
Ooh. I
Okay,
feel like
we cannot lose with any of these choices.
Yeah, I feel we got Schwarzbier, steam beer, chili porter, Rauch beer. So we're going toward the dark side. Do we want one sort of light option?
There's 4 there. Let's get
Bangarang. Start poll. Love it.
Let loose the dogs of war. Ow.
Have you had Schlenkerla?
No, what is
Oh, Pilsner in a can.
Pilsner in a can? Yep. It's never going to go away. It's
never gonna
just
go away.
fantastic. Oh God, Roush is pulling away
Yeah.
with it right now.
Yeah.
But like all these choices are great. Like we have never done a Schwartz beer.
Yeah.
And I like Schwartz beers are fantastic. Like
Right.
Kostricker.
Yeah, Kostritzer.
Yeah.
That was
Ooh.
that. I was gonna say that was one of
That's
the.
like the classic one that you always see on tap everywhere, right?
Yeah, that was Kostritzer was one of the first beers that I like ordered it because it had a cool tap handle
Yeah,
at
absolutely.
that stage of like first starting out, and I
that's
tried it. I
fun.
was like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
Hey, marketing works.
Yeah, it does. It does. The prototypical.
Yeah, but Roush beers are, and we still have some smoked malts
Ooh, fun.
that we actually smoked a while ago on Jerry's Smoker.
Oh my. So we did this. I mentioned it to you at I think either it was the signing bonus release.
Yeah.
I desperately hope that we have a keg of it somewhere, but we worked with the company that runs the kitchen in our taproom, Bread and Circuses. They have a barbecue joint in the International District area called Woodshop Barbecue.
Oh, cool.
And for Woodshops, when they first launched, we made a cider for them where we took the pomace from apples that we had pressed and we smoked them over apple wood and then fermented on that smoked pomace. And it was so good. It was It was like Scotch cider. It was that sort of Highland light sweetness, but then that nice soft smoky. It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. All right.
Oh God, what's I can't see the
We
pour. Where
are
are we at?
we are at 38.
Wow, it's close.
Oh, neck and neck
it's
between
tied.
Schwartz beer and Rauch beer. Oh man. Ooh, Betty. What's it gonna be? Katie Wiggles. That's my wife.
What?
Hi, Katie.
Hello, Katie.
Hello,
Thank you
wife.
for joining us today.
Awesome. Oh, so
Oh,
close.
God, the Schwartz beer's
Beer's
taking
taking
a
ahead. Countdown.
Okay, do a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish.
Boom. What came out?
Oh, the Rauch beer had a punch at the end, but we're going with the Schwartz beer.
Nice. Okay,
Killer,
Schwartz
killer.
beer it is.
Awesome.
So what do you want to do? Schwartz beer.
So I was
Use
going to
the
say,
Schwartz.
we don't do a lot of German styles.
Yeah.
So this is a style I'm actually going to be relying on you a lot for your boundless knowledge.
Yeah, it's bounded. let me tell you.
But I think that we could have I'm interested to see what we end up with here because
I
am
agree.
a bit ignorant of this, of the mechanics of this style.
So typically on average, it's between about 4.4 and 5.5%
Cool.
on the ABV.
Cool.
When we're looking at mantle, how does that character fit? So where do we want to bring this? Let's give them one or two choices, maybe three. Yeah, one or two.
Yeah.
2 or 3 choices of ABV for this beer.
Cool.
Why do you think it's that way?
So he's, as a character, he's pretty young.
Mm-hmm.
So I think doing a smaller, lower alcohol could sort of play with that.
Okay.
But he's also, as evidenced by the side that it's a wild magic sorcerer and he sort of messed up his own self.
That's
he's
the
a,
high explosive.
Yeah, he's a
ABV?
bit
Okay.
more volatile. So I think that we could sort of bracket that out on. I mean, I think we could do like 4, 5, and then 5.5. Sort of let's go with that.
I mean, you can always blow through the high and say it's a 6% Schwartz.
all right,
You know
do
what I mean?
4,
So-
5, and 6.
Yeah.
I like that idea where like
literally-
it's more than it should be.
Yeah, because he blew half the side of his face off. Extended it.
Love it. So we got 4, we got 5, and we got a 6. There we go.
All right, so if to go on the low end of this poll, it's because he's young and still working through his adventuring career.
Yeah.
But the high end at the 6 is really representative of the wild side of his magic that he,
Yeah.
you know, blew off half the side of his face with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story in here. This is pretty great.
Yeah. I went, no, and I was going to say, in character creation, stole the 3 questions from the C team to build it out. Like, seriously, the Acquisitions Incorporated, like I said, that was how I got into the Durandar. So.
That's what I like to hear.
I'm going to steal a little bit more of that focus, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess I would drink again.
Right? That would be...
I was wrong.
A number 4
Yeah. So.
on the cut scale.
Yes, and I saw someone say it on the screen. Sorry, I imagine this is terrible to film, but it does slowly drop out of focus as it goes. So
Brilliant.
Josh was trying to get the camera
Brilliant.
to focus on the label, and it looked busted.
So where are we looking at on the...
How are we going? Everyone wants to go big. Oh gosh, by a landslide.
All right, let's call it.
We're just gonna call it. He's young and dumb. He's gonna blow stuff up. So.
That's fine.
Sladen, hey, I made that beer. That's Andrew, one of our.
Oh,
one of
Andrew,
our
what's
brewers.
going on, man?
Cheers. Oh, yeah.
Rotate it a little so we can see the...
Oh, the really busted. So it starts okay, and then slowly drops. The idea being sort of an old busted CRT monitor that was exploding on you.
That's perfect.
So yeah, it will never. I imagine, especially on a display, it will never drop into focus. So,
Just pulling up the SRM chart if it decides to...
worst wild magic surge I ever got was the UCast Fireball, but it was in like a small room with the whole party.
Perfect.
So it was
Nothing harmful could come of that.
yeah. It was a blow the doors off, and I didn't. There was no picking like,
There
oh,
with
I'm gonna
smoking
miss you.
beer
With it.
and-
Yeah. So. It's fun. I actually wanted to play. There was a Unearthed Arcana. They just did a Barbarian that plays off the Wild Magic Surge table, which
Pretty wild.
yeah, I love that idea.
So on the SRM, average is 17 to 30.
Okay,
So we got a lot of room to play with here.
interesting. So even for a Schwartz beer where it's black, we can still get into that sort of toffee color.
Right, and that could be representative of the lava flowing underneath.
Cool, a
the
little bit
skin,
of
right?
red
Yeah.
that's playing through.
Yep.
That's fun. That's fun.
And whereas the 30 on this scale could really be,
Yeah, that
his outward coloring and the hardened obsidian.
Yeah. That's fun. I like the idea of playing with that sort of dull color as rock is slowly about to become lava, as it's about to melt. If we're playing off the impulsive side, I like the idea of like it's almost at that point where it's gonna blow.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we can do one on the top end just to be we can go 30, and then we'll do. Let's bracket it. We'll do the 17. 25 for sort of a mix of like, there's little bits of smoke and
it kind of feels like you see a volcano exploding, right?
Yeah.
You get the redness of the hot lava with the formed not molten, but
the almost like the pyroclastic cloud where there's
exactly.
like the fire showing through the gray. People seem to want 26 or 36 or all right. We're gonna do 17. Actually, you know what? No, because this is Acquisitions Incorporated. 18.
It's like he's seen this.
I
or
know,
something.
right? And then we'll do 26, and then we'll do 30. Bangarang. Start pull. Let's see what we found. Jim Barb Magic. Oh, that's a terrifying idea.
Ooh. 26 is kind of running
I
off.
know. Sort of splitting the difference. Interesting. What's it gonna be? 66.7. Come on, Paul. So close.
I know.
Don't round
You
up.
almost had it.
Don't round up on that. Yeah, it's that was a enjoying D&D and then finally jumping into it for the first time is totally different.
Yeah.
That was the first time I actually, when you realize that your character has gotten into a fight with another character, and you and your friend are shouting at each other.
Pretty
over the
interesting
table, and then you have the
dynamic,
moment of like, what just happened?
Like, okay, are we okay?
Yeah, we're cool.
We're good? We good? Okay.
That's fun.
I don't know. I think 26 has run away with this
Let's
one.
do it.
All right, so let's talk about the IBU.
The IBU.
So 20 to 30 on the IBU scale. Right, because it's really just there to balance out the malts and not really be too hop forward.
Yeah, but
Or we could totally go against that.
Well, and we shot up in the alcohol, so I think that range will, like a 20 IBU, 6% beer, that'll play pretty sweet, especially with something dark. So it's just a matter of we want that a little bit sharper and cleaner, sort of that hard edge.
Yeah.
Is it the obsidian or is it the foam?
So do one for each. Do two choices and one for each of those.
Cool. Let's do a Ibu. We have a, if we're going on the sweet side, a sweet 20. I can find things on this keyboard. Where is it? There we go. 20. And then we'll do sort of medium sweetness, like 25 IBUs. I think we could go up to, because generally I feel like for hoppiness, if you have 10 IBUs for every % alcohol, it will play kind of sharp. So I think even if we got up into like the 35 range, I think we could do 20, 25, 30, 35 on that.
I would do 3.
Do 3?
Yep.
So 20, 30, 35.
Yep.
We'll overshoot. Love it. Media 30. And we'll call it sharp. For 35. Ego.
So how would you classify the sharp?
Just
for mantle.
for mantle.
Yeah. What does that represent?
So he would actually a pretty cool way, flavor-wise. His for whenever he would cast Green Flame Blade, he would literally like pull a hunk of rock off. He would sort of extrude obsidian out and then just shatter it against someone.
Okay, that's cool.
So that was just sort of flavor for that spell. That it was, since he was rock genasi, so long as he was in contact with rock, he could do that by sort of pulling material from the earth.
Fun. Okay, so he could do it wherever as long as there was...
if he was not on the earth, he would take damage doing that because he would actually have to chip off a hunk of himself. So that was a
fantastic story.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's how you want to play the game.
Yeah, I went pretty hard on that.
It's great.
It was
Ghostly.
Oh, thanks, Ghostly.
So where are we at? What
are we looking at? We're looking at right down the middle.
Ooh, okay.
Unless we want to count it off. Oh, we got another.
Nope, everybody's going mid.
Right down the middle. All right, count it off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish. Cool.
All right.
Sounds good. Yeah, that'll be. I feel like 30 IBUs, 6%. That's gonna be nice and even. It'll be a bigger beer for a lager. I'll get some work done.
And what did we say the color was?
We said 26.
26, right. All right, so let's talk about our base malt. So typically in a Schwartz beer, here's the Schwartz. It's gonna be Munich malt.
Yep.
or a Pilsner.
Oh, interesting.
So you can go either way with this. So let's give them the choice.
Munich or Pilsner?
Munich or Pilsner as the base.
Cool.
You know, now how would those two relate to Mantle?
I think, well, so Munich, you're going to get a little bit more sweetness, a little bit more fruitiness, whereas with Pilsner, it'll be a little bit drier, a little bit grainier, a little bit sharper. And so if we want to play, depending on how we want to play it, if we want to do that big and sort of smooth, sort of the lava flow idea, or if we want to do that sharp, sort of splintery character on it.
Sure.
I think that, yeah, I think both, yeah, Munich or Pils is great. So, splinters of Pilsner or lava flow.
Flowing sweetness of lava.
Liquid hot magma.
Yeah. How about no, Scott, okay? Really? Stop it.
Zip it.
Okay, yeah. How about no? Yeah.
We went full.
Yeah, no. No. Scotty dude.
Just kidding.
Yeah. All right, poll is up.
Here we go. What do we think? People are going for that fruity goodness, that Munich.
Yeah. I mean, Munich is fantastic. I mean, it's a great malt to play around with, and we don't use it a lot, so.
It's funny, so Munich and Vienna are two standbys of our beer that we incorporated in a lot of our base styles, like our amber, our IPA. There's always sort of a little bit of that providing some dimension to it. But I think one of my favorite things about Munich is if ever I'm doing a brewery tour down at the brewery, Munich is my favorite malt to literally just grab out of the bag and snack on, because it tastes like Raisin Bran. You get that really, really bright fruitiness out of it. It's got that nice sugar character. And you also get a sense of like, okay, when you take a base malt and you start caramelizing a little bit of the sugar to give some of that dimension out of it, this is what it does to it. You're not all the way up to like a chocolate malt where it feels chalky and super bitter.
Right.
All right, well, Munich is running away with it. Yeah, we're just gonna call it. We're just gonna say a yerp.
All right. Add the grains.
And then them specialties.
Yeah, so we can go in a lot of different directions with this. You know, with the Schwartz beer, you can put in Carafa, you know, any kind of roasted malt.
Totally.
All of those ones that are going to give us like a coffee roast flavor, a chocolate flavor, anything. So the whole kind of world is our oyster when we're really developing this kind of beer. What do you think? What would be a couple choices of those specialty grains that you would think would?
I think if we're
looking at Mantle, and you know, we're really leaning heavy into this, you know, exploded self and the hot magma of what Mantle is. So.
Yeah. I think if we want to go, since we already have a little bit of a sweeter malt, if we did a Carafa or a Black Prince, something with a super, super high SRM, so we're able to introduce some color without introducing a bunch of bitterness. If people want to keep it on the sweet side, we could go that direction. Okay. I think we could also do something just in the chocolate malt side, where a little bit of chocolate or just some black patent, like sort of a combo of if we want to keep it a little bit more fruity, or if we want to push it into that chocolatey way. I think that like a just Black Prince or a like black patent chocolate blend could be good.
So let's do those two choices.
Cool.
One will be sweet and one will be more chocolate.
Cool. So we have Carafa 2. Or actually probably just Carafa, because that would...
Yeah, we probably don't need anything.
Yeah. Carafa. Clean and sweet. Or dark, no bitterness. I guess the Carafa's not introducing any bitterness thing. No added bitterness. And then we have a black patent plus chocolate to introduce a tiny, add a little bitter.
A little bit.
Little bit of bitter.
Yeah,
Love it.
it's true. Just a little bit. Yeah, okay.
Acquisitions Incorporated brought to you by Dr. Evil.
Yeah, really.
All right, let's see it.
Okay, Dan, come on.
Stanky dark pea water.
Wow, that is a description.
Thank you, Scary Crazy Butter Knife.
But no, butter knife, yeah, really. It's not evil. Not, pea water, okay? No. I don't know why I keep using this voice, but it's fun. Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
Really adds to the dimension.
I haven't watched these movies in years. It's great.
It is funny how like there are portions of movies from
Yeah.
the 90s through the 2000s that occupy more of my brain than like elementary education. Couldn't tell you about the second grade, but I can quote The Princess Bride to you.
So what are we looking at on
We
this?
are, man, people want to go black patent and chocolate.
Wow.
Yeah, it's dunking on it. Unless there are any carafa advocates out there. You know.
We got a couple. It's yeah. You're not gonna get
finish
caught?
full.
Okay. So black patent. There we go. And chocolate.
Chocolate.
We do not need that much.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, what's the love bond on patent?
Patent is 500.
500. Hey, Viking Goat.
Hey, if I can go, what's going on?
I had the pleasure of meeting that fine gentleman at the signing bonus meetup.
Oh, yeah.
You good people.
And we were going for the ABV of 6%.
Yes, sir.
And our SRM was
26.
26, okay. We're gonna bring this up.
And then we did 25 AB.
Yeah. Actually, this Munich is too high on that scale, so let's change that. The Fred Durst malt.
Fred Durst malt.
And
It comes with a requisite white tank top.
Oh, Jesus. Good Lord.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also, Tal, you tried to kill me with that fudge.
You watch your mouth. That fudge is amazing.
It's incredible. No, I ate the tiniest bit of it and it had the density of a dying star.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh, it was.
Thou shalt not speak ill of.
I didn't say it was going to be a bad death. I just said he tried to kill me with it.
All right, there we go. So, do we want to put any other thing to add into this? Any kind of like cacao nib? Anything like that?
I was going to say, so we chatted about at the very beginning the idea of introducing a little bit of spiciness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to? We could potentially like pull that around to do like a chili or a pepper, especially since we have that sweetness
totally,
to it.
absolutely.
We could do a cacao nib. I think that would also, since people were interested in adding just a little bit of bitterness, like that chocolate malt, we could sort of double down on the chocolate.
Okay.
And do like a cacao nib, or if we wanted to. I'm trying to think. If we wanted to, let's just get real weird. There was so Ghostfish Brewing, who's all gluten-free, they did a Rauch beer, but instead of smoked malt, they used Lapsang Souchong tea.
Interesting.
So if we wanted to amalgamate, sort of do a Schwartz beer with a tiny bit of smoke on the end, introduce a little bit of that smoke through tea or like cold steeping a peat malt.
Oh yeah. Okay. So give those choices.
Cool. Final touch.
Final choice. The final countdown.
Spicy with chilies and such.
Yes. Always fun.
smoky
I agree, butter knife.
with peated malt. Or I'm not even going to attempt to spell Lapsang Souchong.
Yeah.
Not petted malt, thank you, autocorrect. Petted malt. Good malt.
I mean, who doesn't pet their malt?
I really,
Amateurs.
right? Or smoky tea. And then what was the last one was we had spicy, we had smoky, and then chocolate.
Yeah.
Double down on chocolate with nibs. There we go. If you want that hot smolder for this lava boy.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how this goes.
Me
'cause
too.
This felt like a little bit of a bait and switch at the end.
Right? We don't lose
Yeah.
in any of these. They all sound fantastic.
This is gonna be good. So chocolate coming up dry. That's really interesting. So we're going spicy or smoky, it looks like.
Yeah.
That's really, really fun. Yeah, I feel like there are
Yeah, no. Okay, no.
narrow.
No.
No, I just don't talking in the polls.
Fine. Do what you want. Look at him giving me freaking evil.
Oh.
Anyways, you feel like what?
I was gonna say this is there's a bunch of different ways in terms of introducing smoke
Yeah.
that I feel could be really, really, really fun. But
I feel like we have to do custom-made cocktail beers where, you know how you do like a smoked cocktail where you smoke the glass, you pre-smoke the glass.
Yep.
You put like a cocktail shaker with pre-smoke in it over the beer glass.
So that's instead of like you getting a slice of citrus as a garnish.
Yeah, you just waft up a
That's awesome.
tobacco.
There was a guy making a cocktail that I saw where he did smoke in a straight up like a little shaker bottle.
Yeah.
And then shook the cocktail over smoke to dissolve it
interesting,
into solution. But yeah, that could be really, really fun where like the beer itself isn't smoky, but the context is.
Yeah.
That's super fun. There's a Base Camp Brewing down in Portland.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
Their s'mores stout, they'll do something like that where they will put a marshmallow on the edge and then brulee it. And so there's a portion of that like burnt sugar that's actually getting dissolved into the beer, but it's that last touch.
Very cool.
That's really fun.
Where are we at on the?
We're going smoky.
Okay, so
it is decisive.
All right. So what will we add for that smoke characteristic?
So I've seen it done with tea, with Lapsang Souchong.
Oh yeah, the tea.
So we could do either tea or we could just like cold steep it on a peated malt.
Let's go with the tea because that sounds super interesting. So let's talk about hops. What kind of hops do we want to throw into this?
So I think noble, since we're dealing with a Schwarzbier, going with like the Fuggles that you did for the Bier.
Yeah.
I could be really, really good. I think Saaz even, since I guess we're not doing Pilsner, but something in that space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so throw those in.
Cool. Oh. I'm trying to remember the last time we were here what Gavin and Dave decided they wanted to rename hops as.
Oh.
Jumps, skips.
I can't remember.
They're going in as skips. Saws. And then Fuggles.
Sure.
Fuggle. And then what hop is super earthy?
God, there's a
Yeah.
ton of them.
I was gonna say we could do if we want just like really, really clean bitterness, doing like a Galena or a Magnum.
I'd say Magnum.
Magnum? Yeah, let's just do Magnum.
That's going to give you that.
Cool.
Oh, cool. H vinegar. That's a really neat way of doing it. Yeah, Lucky Envelope's awesome.
When you say lucky envelope, guys, about the tea infusions and say, yeah, oh my gosh, they're
Did you put the third one in?
Oh,
The Magnum?
oops, finish bowl. I goofed, you guys, I goofed. I'm new, I'm sorry. Skips and or
Doing so good.
chops.
He was doing so good.
Sauce, yeah. I didn't mean it. Fuego. And then what was the last one? We said Magnum.
Magnum, yep. Oh yeah. Clean, neutral bitterness.
Start pull. There we go. Yeah, there was one hop that we were playing around with, Apollo, which has an alpha acid of like 19.
Yeah.
Where it's just like bink.
Yeah, you don't need much.
You just reach out and touch the beer with it. So.
Yeah, so Fuggles is gonna give, I mean, it's a little earthy.
Yeah. Yep.
Saz is really where you're gonna see a lot of those flavors come in.
Yeah. A little bit of spiciness too.
A little bit of spicy.
Yeah.
All the lovely noble hops, we can't really go wrong with any of those.
Yeah. Ooh, it looks like any hops game right now. It's
Right.
bouncing around. Saw's coming through. It's so funny to watch, like, as the conversation happens, the poll sort of.
I know, right? It goes back and forth. But,
Yeah.
I mean, the chat has gotten so good. I mean, they're making really, over the course of when we started this, they've really grown and really start making educated decisions, and it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah. That is what, I mean, absent D&D, that is one of my favorite things about this show, is that it is, like, you learn, but you get to participate in it.
Yeah.
It is not, and you get to not know stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this is a style of beer that I am not familiar with recipe writing for.
Right, and the thing that's great is we get to play around. Like, we're
Yep.
not constrained. We're like, oh God, if this recipe tastes horrible,
Yeah. We're hosed.
we're hosed.
Yep.
It's just, no, okay, well, we tried it. It's great.
Yep. We made a beer.
Yeah,
Looks like Saz came through in the end.
love it.
Cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Killer.
And last but not least, what kind of yeast do we want for this?
So Schwartz beers are typically a lager, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So we could do. Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Do you have any that come to your mind right away? You would want to see?
Just we could go with a, oh man, I'm trying to remember the lager yeast that we use at home. It's the same pitch same style that they use for Pilsner Urquell. Mm-hmm. So it's really, really bright. Yeah, I think any sort of are there any?
So there's a Southern German lager that
Yeah.
gives it. This is going to be a malty finish.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Okay.
Balanced aromas. So that would be.
So the German lager will lean into the malt, sort of
Yep.
like a Helles style, introduce a little bit of sweetness.
Exactly. Actually, I think. Oh God, what is that yeast company? Imperial
Yeah,
does the Urquell. We could go straight with
that's who I was gonna say.
Urquell, yeah.
Sweet.
That's going to
go
be
with that.
super balanced, clean, crisp.
Yep. So sweet and malty for the German lager, and then Urquell.
Yep. From Imperial.
They are owned by the same people who own Craft Canning and Bottling.
Oh, cool.
That go and do contract bottling, and we actually sublet them space. So we have
Awesome.
a pretty good relationship with them. Clean.
Start thinking of names, everyone.
Yeah. So yeah, I think just
that
the two.
button. Yep.
Yeah, let's go. It's going to be a lager. It's either going to be sweet or it's going to be clean.
Yeah, so if you want it sweeter, we'll go with a Southern German lager. And if you want it clean, get that Urquell.
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 Yeah.
Urquell.
Oh.
Woo!
Bam, bam. Back and forth.
Wow, it literally is back and forth.
Ding dong, ding dong. Battle Royale, guys.
Right, seriously.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? One last. It's too good.
It's so good. It's so good. Uh-oh. Katie, I don't know. I think Katie said,
Did she?
Oracle.
Is it Urkel?
Yeah.
I think that, not to put my finger on the scales a little bit, I think the Pils yeast, the Urkel, will probably push it in a really, really good direction. Just with the fact that we're using Munich, and we're doing a high alcohol beer. I think picking a yeast that's going to give it a nice, it will wrap it up in a bow at the end, rather than sort of emphasizing that soft sweetness. It will actually sort of put a period on the sentence.
Yep, exactly.
So.
How's it look?
And there it goes. Oh, we're within 4 votes, but
Give it a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, Juan. Okay, that's it.
And the winner is?
The winner is Urkel.
Boom. All right, so what are your names, folks, for Mantle's beer? The Earth Genasi with a little bit of fire, we would say.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Ebon Flow.
Ebon Flow, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Jen Hex. Yeah, that's a what? All right. Jen Hex.
Jen Hex. I like that as like, since he's youthful and
Yeah.
this is good. This
Mantle
is
of
good.
Flame.
Mantle of
Fantastic.
Love it, love it. That's the idea of like sort of him as he spools up for a
Fumer Ale. There you go. I say it's great.
dirt nap. Ooh,
Molten Courage.
that's
There
fun.
we go.
That's fun. That's fun.
God, Jen Hex is great.
Yeah, Jen Hex is real good.
Get Groundwork.
I like groundwork.
Yeah.
That's good. Groundwork. Let's got, we got 3 options so far.
Oh, Krusty. Damn.
Krusty.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Essay's coming through.
Yeah. Coming through strong. Professional writer. The deck is stacked. Come on.
Face I mean,
Yeah.
it's wildly appropriate.
It's going on there. This makes me very happy. The iPad wanted to correct it to Face Laser, which I feel is
I'm perfectly fine with that too.
right. It seems Face Blaster. Krusty's going in.
Yeah. And let's call it at that, and we will shoot the ball. Ooh, Sorcerer. Nice.
Saucer. Love it. And
Sazzled face.
Sazzled. Sazzled. My mouth doesn't like that word. Saying sazzled.
All right, hit
All
it.
right. Bam.
God, those are really
Yeah.
like sizzled, sazzled.
Schwartz magic.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ebon Flow and Grain Hex or Gen Hex
Yeah,
are.
Gen Hex is friggin' delightful.
It's so good. It's so
I
good.
don't know. Ebon Flow is great. Old Krusty is good. I mean, they're all great.
Yeah. You can't lose with this show.
No.
You can't lose. It's too good.
What's Oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
Gen Hex pawns.
There's a little bit of a
Ebon
fight.
Flow. This is we're neck and neck with those first 2. Oh no.
Pretty cool.
Oh no.
Good lord.
Oh.
A little bit more from Ebon Flow.
And it catapults.
Yeah, right. Wow. That shot up.
Yep. All
I
right.
don't know. It's going to be between, I think, Gen Hex and Ebon Flow for sure.
Yep.
Man, Ebon Flow's running away. Running away with it.
Yeah. By a neck. By 4 lengths. By 2 lengths.
Isn't Ebon Flow and R&B? It could be.
Probably. I'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
I'd be okay with them some baby making music. All right.
All right. I think we got a call. I think it's Ebon Flow.
Yep. That's it. Ebb and flow.
Awesome.
So cool.
Well, thank you for stopping by, Dan. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks for having me. So much fun to come by.
Yeah, another great time. And
Of course.
we'll have to do it again sometime. We'll have to have you back when this is brewed and we get to try
please.
it.
Would love it. We
All
still
right.
need to knock out that cider for the other
Absolutely.
guys. I'm working with our team to get it made on our side. So
Perfect.
killer.
I'd like to hear that.
All right.
So thanks everybody for watching.